everyone, welcome to the True Mind Tarot channel. My name is Juhi and I'm here today to do a reading for the week of July 13 to July 19. So it's a weekly energy update for the collective and it's an energy reading, so I'm not reading gender, and also it is the intention is for it to be a timeless reading. So whenever you find this video, there may be something in there that resonates with you. So as always, take it as it resonates. So what's coming up for the collective July 13th through July 19? Using the Starseed Oracle deck. Okay, Child of the Cosmos. What's coming up for the collective upcoming week? What is coming up for the collective this week? Any messages? This one. Earth Pulsing. And what's coming up? This one. Whale and Orca Elders. Oh, that's cool. So, first card that came up, Child of the Cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. So there may be something like a wisdom and an intelligence that you may experience this week that you don't even know where it's coming from. Like you never learned it from a book, you never learned it at school, nobody ever told you, but you just kind of know, like it feels like intuition, and you came with this intelligence to Earth, or you're channeling it. Seems very connected, and I feel very much like the High Priestess energy with this, the one who holds all the intelligence, all the wisdom, and she may reveal that at a time that when you're ready to receive it, and up till the time she's keeping it to herself. And then we have Earth Pulsing. It's a beautiful card. It looks a little bit like a Snow White person here. Pulse of Mother, slow down, time in nature. Okay, this is very clear. Like you need to go, we're called back into nature to kind of rejuvenate, I guess. And also to just like to reconnect with our bodies, to reconnect with our wisdom that we're holding. And Whale and Orca Elders, share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Beautiful card. I find it very interesting because it almost feels like if we kind of look at it in a linear way, or maybe in a multi-dimensional way, it looks like there's something like this is where the cosmos and like the air element is represented. This is very earthy and Mother Earth. So we're going down from the cosmos to Mother Earth into Mother Sea, the womb of the sea. There's something like a traveling from all the way up there to all the way down. So there feels like some sort of alignment maybe going on, and like a reconnection for sure. Frequency of sound. I feel like sound is very important. So listen to music that makes you feel good about yourself. Sometimes we like to feed ourselves with music that is bringing us down, or when you're already feeling sad, you may have a tendency to listen to music that amplifies it. And I'm not saying that you only need to listen to music that makes you feel good, but be aware of what sound you are bringing into yourself, how it may affect your mood, and it can actually you know, there may be even a tendency to hold on to those emotions, like because we like dwell in them and hold on to them, but we're not actually processing them. So there's something about sound that we need to be aware of, and maybe you encounter some physical nuts or stagnation, and you may be wanting to look out for a healing session with sound, for example. Okay, let's see what the Child of the Cosmos is about. Using the Wild Unknown Tarot for this. And the Star comes out, and 5 of Swords. One more card, please. That Star is very soothing, right? Like Child of the Cosmos. And we had, it's the Starseed Oracle, and I think that has been very much the theme. So we have Queen of Cups here with a Mother of Cups. Five of Swords is very much your energy where you like it's a card of strife, of struggle. It may be negative talk about yourself or about somebody else, and it may also be just like trying to win a battle, trying to convince the other one that you are right. Or perhaps just even walking away because you feel like I'm not gonna even like bother myself to try to convince the other person. And I think it may have something to do in regards to a mother figure. That is the Queen of Cups here. Queen of Cups is somebody who's very much aligned, like where the mental and the heart space they are communicating, so she is not overwhelmed by her emotions, and also she's not acting from a place where she's ignoring her emotions. And then there's the I'm sorry. I think something needs to be spoken here. This in regards to this is there's something about your wishes and dreams. There's something that you are imagining for yourself, for your future happiness. And it's not quite there yet, but it's tangible. You do want to I'm sorry. You do want to manifest this, and what may be blocking you is maybe the voice of a mother figure that is telling you, it's the voice of all the insecurity and self-doubt, like, oh, I cannot do that. Nobody has ever done that. Why should I be able to do this? Or like, this is definitely the kind of thing that other people are supposed to be doing, but not me. Just, I don't know, something along the lines of that. And then there is like, I think the Mother of Cups is here to invite you to be your own parent in regards to this. So this is the Child of the Cosmos, right? So there's like, you probably have been doing already a lot of healing work and uncovering, which makes it very clear to you what your inner voice, your inner child needs from you, like what your soul's blueprint is, what you are supposed to be doing here. And there's like, it's almost like in the background you hear some little bells, and you need to listen to that and follow that, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. So it's something that has just been like recently being unveiled, and it's like it's this inner wisdom that is brought to you by your inner child, and you are on the right path if you feel like this innocence, if you feel this playfulness, if just something just really makes you like very, very happy in a very carefree way. Last week I listened to a song, and the one who I was sharing it with, she told me like, oh, as a kid I used to dance to this song, which inspired me to listen to it. And I was actually listening to it on my headphones, and I was just dancing around here in this room, and it just felt so carefree and happy, and it just really felt good. So that was definitely like a moment that I kind of hear like those little bells in the background. It's just like this tingling, very peaceful, calming, soothing sound, like these wind gongs, right? Like ding, ding, ding. And it's just a little bit like a message like, oh, you're on the right path and you need to be following that. And whereas maybe from your childhood you have this one, you have brought this inner voice. Maybe this person is still in your life, and maybe it's just like a internalized voice from a parent, from a teacher, something from your childhood probably, who just kind of like cutting down whatever makes those bell ring for you. So there's the invitation. If you want to make this happen, you need to be stepping into this energy yourself now as an adult, where you can actually like, now you finally made a connection to your heart space, and where you are able to enter those desires and those urges that actually make you really happy, that are actually kind of a guide for you, and also the mental capacities to hold space for that and to connect it to a wise action. So this is like your self-parenting. You need to mother your own inner child, and it's almost like, you know, like how she is like covering this cup with her wing, like she's protecting it for herself. And this is your Ace of Cups. This is your emotional fulfillment. This is your own happiness. Like all that, where did it go? That star is in this cup. Your dreams, your wish fulfillment, it's all in the cup, and you need to protect it yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you. Of course, there may be people that may want to help you. If you want other people to help you to protect this or make this something that is manifested, you'll be the one to invite them to help you with that. Like nobody else is going to do that unless you are going to communicate it. And how you do it is by being aware of this negative internal voice that is whispering in your ear that you cannot do it. So when you're in self-doubt, then you know it is something that is connected to your inner child wound that you've already been working with and possibly already healing with. And then just like kind of like take the time to either in those moments just do immediately something that can bring back the playfulness and innocence right away, by making silly faces or dance or just start drawing or just do something creative to just kind of like make that voice that is just like nagging in the background just kind of melt away. If it is a stubborn voice for you, most likely by even recognizing, like when you hear, like if you notice that there's this thought of, oh, I can do this, then just be aware of that it is just that internalized voice, and that is a moment to be like, okay, like embrace your inner child and know that you are empowered now to take care of your inner child's desires and wishes that possibly never have been validated to you, or like maybe you were silly or unrealistic, or I don't know, something like that. Let's have a look about this earth pulsing. What is that about? Pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. So the mother is definitely a theme here. There's something like earth pulsing and pulse of the mother. Female bodies have their natural cycles, there's something about those, I feel like there's something about those cycles. So instead of trying to press things on because you have set your mind to it and you want to, so you have your dream, you have an idea about how you want to manifest it, and then there may be a tendency to go about it in like in an old way, like in a way of your old programming, because that's how you used to do things. But there's really an invitation now to slow down and move with the natural cycle of your energy. Some people like to work in the mornings, for example. Other people are more productive in the nights. Some people like to work a couple of hours super focused, and then they need a break and a nap perhaps, and then another couple of hours if it's still there. And it may be like, I know in my own experience doing this channel, like this Instagram, YouTube and Instagram, I don't know, that sounded weird. Anyway, when I started this, I started with a very tight schedule. Like I would sit in the beginning of the month and plan everything out, and it didn't work at all. And it just, for me, it just built up a lot of pressure. And because then on the days that I planned to do a reading or make a video, I would feel tired or not connected, or I just felt like I just need to take care and just like take long baths and oil massages and a lot of just time and caring for myself. I don't have the energy to like be externally present. I don't know, maybe it's a weird way to say it. But yeah, then I wouldn't, like on those days that I planned doing something and I wouldn't feel in the mood to do it, and it would still be in my calendar, I'd be super disappointed. I would feel like a failure. I would even start to doubt, like, oh, can I even do this? Am I supposed to do this? And I just needed to realize, I can plan whatever I want to, but it's just not how I work. I kind of need to work with the flow of energy that I have available to me. So yeah, I kind of work on when my energy is right for it, that's when I do this. And of course there's in the back of my mind, I see my neighbor sitting across, he's sitting in the sun eating some oatmeal or something like that. That's I don't know, just like the summer when life is happening outside. So connect to your own rhythm. So connect to your natural cycle of energy. And for everybody that is different. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. Time in nature. Two of Swords. 10 of Wands. Yeah, makes sense. And one more. And 9 of Swords in reverse. So when you have too much mental energy and too much worries, I do feel like that is something that you will, with the 9 of Swords in reverse, it is something all those worries, like those swords, they kind of drop down. That's not something anymore that you'll be wide awake about in the middle of the night. Given that you connect with nature, spend time in nature, connect with your own nature and with your own cycles. Because if you just kind of naturally follow that, you don't need to worry anymore about when you do things, or worry about not doing the things, like you like feeling like all the weight and responsibility of the 10 of Wands. You're making actually something that is actually very light and flowy, making very dark and heavy, which is not necessary. And you are the one holding the key to make that transition from something that is dark and heavy and dense into something that is light, flowy and natural and playful. And it's just in your mind's eye, in your thoughts, that the blockage that exists and that density is being kept alive. So like as soon as you drop those swords, as soon as you give yourself the liberty of working with your own natural cycle, especially as a woman, I guess, like also given the moon cycle and everything, You don't need to hold it so tight anymore. It just can kind of like flow naturally. And you are the one to drop those swords. Nobody else can do that. It's like you are the one who's scheduling your calendar, right? So unless you're working with a secretary, but even she does that in a way that you would probably guide her to do so. Yeah, so, and those mental, like the mental pressure that we put upon ourselves is something that we are conditioned to be doing. We have learned to be productive from Mondays to Fridays, from 9 to 5. And there may be some change in that, and it's up to you to really, like, yeah, be bold and really listen to what you need without judgment about yourself based on the programming of how we're supposed to be productive. Okay, let's see what this whale and orca elders is about. I feel like it's about, this is about our ancestors, our guides. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. I also heard something about if you are a starseed, and most likely you are if you're watching this, otherwise this wouldn't resonate. I heard that starseeds are actually like those spirits. They come to Earth and live in the bodies of orcas and dolphins and other how do you call it? Mammals that live underwater. You know what I mean, right? Like dolphins and whales. And when they strand, that is a time when a lot of starseeds awake. And I can't remember where I heard this. I think it is related to Water Baby. Maybe people talking about Water Baby and her mom. But whales are super spiritual, wise beings. So there's definitely, I don't know, there's a very deep connection with the cosmos and the water. Even like one is high up in our 3D reality, and this one is like deep down. But we're all connected, right? Like we're all connected in the same energy grid. Different manifestations. I really love how you see this. I don't know if you can barely see it in the video, but like here, there's a bit of a gateway, a portal. It also reminds me, now I'm looking at this card, it's almost like a pyramid, right? It's like a pyramid and a portal. I have this dream that, how do you call that? Recurring dream. And it's about me swimming underwater. And I don't need to hold my breath. I can just breathe underwater. And I am in a human form. And I'm swimming in a city. And it's a deserted city. And you can just tell about the way that the buildings are built. That there was like a very high level of like high society, I guess. And it wouldn't be like Roman buildings, but they would be more like high rises for sure. And there would be like intricate ornaments and like pillars as well. And I'd just be swimming through the deserted city, and I would swim in like very big hallways and like very big buildings, and swimming above the stairs, just desolated, nobody there. And I would feel like a melancholy, like I'm feeling like a sadness and feeling at home at the same time. So this is a very long explanation of a dream that I often have. And I think I've always wondered whether it had something to do with Atlantis. And as a kid, I've always been super interested just by the magical, what is it? How do you call it? Like the story around Atlantis, how it like resurfaces only for a couple of days every 100 years or so, right? Yeah, so this card kind of reminds me of it. Let's see what this card is about for us this week, for the collective. Tell me, okay, 7 of Wands. Tell me about the Wheel and Orca elders. Diving deep. Definitely feel like it may be like something that is deep down within us. 4 of Swords in reverse. Emotionally, something that we haven't been able to connect to, but we've known that is always present. And 10 of Cups, guys. I really like it. And 9 of Pentacles on the bottom. So let's have a look. Whale and Orca elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. There's definitely something about like with the water, like your emotional waters. We have been doing a lot of deep diving in regards to shadow work and inner child wounding and childhood trauma. And there's definitely like with that, doing that, it's definitely bringing like 10 of Cups energy, which is fulfillment, emotional fulfillment and happiness. And in the classic Rider-Waite, it may even be like a connection that is coming into your life that is where it will be like very stable and long lasting. And this can be either romantic or maybe some sort of guide or a partnership or a friendship, but something that is very emotionally fulfilling, very safe. And I also feel like very dynamic, like there's a lot of energy exchange and maybe ideas that you exchange and mirror in each other, and like being in each other's presence, you'll be able to evoke them or vocalize them. And also looks like there's something like out as coming out of like some sort of a retreat mode. And I think the retreat mode is coming out of this, doing this deep diving work. And there has been some sort of realization or enlightenment that allows you to step into such a connection, to be open for it. Whereas before, perhaps you may have been a tad bit defensive about really opening yourself up for connections with other people. And maybe just like kind of like, I am holding my light and I'm protecting it because I don't know what other people mean to it, and I just feel like I need to protect it. You know, it's like I found my light and I want to make sure that I keep this wand burning. So maybe you've been like, like a bit, maybe not pushing them away, but kind of not repulsing either, but like energetically you have been keeping people at a distance. And it looks like you needed to do so in order to make a deep connection with your inner child's wisdom and urges and desires. Maybe not urges, but more so desires to connect to your hopes and dreams. And you're coming out of that energy because it is something like, it is mostly like that mental energy that is that's making you believe you need to protect yourself or hide yourself away. And it looks like you need at that time to come to some sort of like clarification. And I think like instead of needing to protect your inner fire, you have taken some, like you have actually retreated to hold on to that fire, and coming out of it with the realization that you don't need to protect it as much as you believed it to be. It can be like, instead of like being just one flame, this flame can be igniting a lot of other flames and being in contact with all these other flames. Inner sparks within other people. So that is where it comes in, right? Share your song. So I even feel like you may, like, this may even be expressed in you entering in some sort of band, or maybe you start to sing together with people, or maybe you connect with people because you like the same kind of music. something like that. And there's also like the frequency of sound is definitely like the way of talking, and I'm also thinking about mantras. But there's also something about you you may be holding this light, and by holding this light you're standing in a certain kind of frequency, and by like energetically open yourself, you allow people in the same frequency to recognize you, and also the other way around, because you kind of like just like drop the ice shells. You'll be able to recognize other people to hold up their that are holding up their torch. So there's something, yeah, so you're opening up and you're going to be like interchanging a lot of frequencies. I hope that makes sense. I think that is beautiful. So there's something about this week that you really connect with your core desire, and also like the like you recognize what you're supposed to be doing here, and it's something that you maybe have always dreamt of, but never dare to believe that you needed to, that it was for you. And it looks like you're still maybe dealing with a little bit of self-doubt, but that's where you need to step up as this Queen of Cups, where you are taking care of your own cup of happiness, where you're protecting what like you have long lost. It seems like you kind of like trust that and guard it with your life, with your heart, because this is precious, right? This is your true nature that is wanting to be manifested and expressed through this human body. And when you want to manifest that dream, you may have a tendency to go back into an old way of taking action, where you are invited to take it slow, take time out in nature to make sure that you keep connected to that, like that innocent dream that wants to be manifested, and listen to your own cycle. If you are noticing that things are feeling heavy, or when you feel like you have that negative self-talk becomes very present, or you lie wide awake in the middle of the night worrying about how to manifest your dream, then you know you need to connect to Mother Earth, and you know that you need to be listening to your own natural flow of energy, and connect to that. That is your natural flow. And that's the way that you make it more light and joyful and playful for yourself again. And you may like all along this week, you may have a tendency to be kind of like a cuckoo's clock almost, like come out and retreat, come out and retreat. And that is maybe because out of like an old habit to protect yourself, because you have felt for a long time that you needed to protect this torch, but you're coming out of that. Like it looks like there is something that you are coming out of that, and it opens you up to send out your frequency, and that will mirror back the frequencies, and it will open you up to other people that are in the same frequency and also holding up their torch. And in that way, like it will be like sonar. Is that how you call it? Sonar communications, like whales and dolphins, like they just kind of communicate long distance, right? Like you don't need to be in the same room. I don't know like how many miles or kilometers these awesome creatures can communicate with one another. So you may even find that you connect with people on the other side of the world, and of course that is something that is very possible now with the existence of internet. I love internet. There's something about that. And if not on this earthy plane, there may be some sort of connection, because they talk about elders, and I did mention it earlier, something about your guides, your ancestral guides, or just spirit that is available to you to help and guide you. You are not alone. Okay, let's finish this with some advice. And I do want to do that with the crystal deck. Let's just see what crystals will help us to manifest our dreams. Wow, those are 4 just jumping out. I'm just going to take them. Black tourmaline is on the bottom of this. Labradorite comes out. Appetite. Orlite 23. I think this one came out last time too. And rose quartz, of course. Just like to have some compassion with ourselves mostly, I feel like. Okay, let's see if we can do this a little bit. Okay, I'm starting with rose quartz. So if you have these crystals at home, that is great, and you know you can like put them closer to your bed, or maybe you want to put them in your pocket while you're out and about, or just place them in your working space, or maybe the space where you are manifesting, or maybe just place them on your altar with the intention to help support you in this energy, to remain connected to your guides, to Mother Nature and your own natural cycle, and to your dreams and to your inner child, because your inner child is wise. So you don't need to have all these crystals, and if you do want to buy them, I would recommend to go to a shop yourself, so you can just like feel with which piece you feel connected. And if you are unable to go to a shop, you're most likely to find them online as well. The frequency of the rose quartz is healing, and it's about unconditional love. Rose quartz is full of unconditional love and infinite peace. It draws loving relationships to you, heals past emotional traumas, or provides support during a crisis. Self-understanding. You are a beautiful soul who has infinite peace deep within and enormous empathy. Relationships are where you learn your soul lessons. Yeah, that is that 10 of cups with those wheels and orcas. Heal heartbreak or abuse and dissolve toxic emotions and pain that prevent you from giving and receiving love. You have power to love unconditionally and to support others. I really feel like this will be like a very nice one to just kind of carry with you throughout the world week, I meant to say. Yeah, this will be like a very soft and nourishing energy that you have with you whenever you tend to go into that mental space, and when you hear that negative self-talk about like, oh, I cannot do this, or being harsh about yourself that you should be more productive, or all the thoughts that you have about you need to protect yourself or pull yourself back or retreat and hide yourself. So yeah, I think this is a very good stone overall. Divination, forgive yourself, love and beauty approach. Love and beauty approach. Loneliness is at an end. Emotional blockages dissolve. Do not accept blame. Recognize that unconditional love and friendship draw exactly the right people to you. That's that frequency. Once you love yourself, you can give and receive love from others. That's the 10 of cups. Support is available in a crisis. Healing inside. Unconditional love is the greatest gift you can give to yourself or another. Yeah, so this is also something about whoever is like a critical parent or critical self-parent, also be compassionate to that figure in your life. And you don't need to forgive everything that they did, but there is some sort of extension of understanding that is actually compassion, and which is unconditional love. Medium to high, depending on clarity. It's good for the heart chakra, timing Taurus and Libra, and radiating unconditional love. Let's check out appetite. It's about acceptance. Also healing frequency. Appetite works at the interface between consciousness and matter to let go of what is outworn in life. Yeah, that's that internal negative voice that you have carried since childhood with you. Self-understanding. Clear away confusion or guilt. Accept the truth about yourself. You are a complex being with credits and deficits. Recognize these without judgment. Move away from aloofness or social alienation and show others who you truly are. Use your perspicity. I don't know what that means. Perspicity. You have much to offer by way of service as you access insights for the collective good. Divination. Be inspired, discern truth within, recognize what is real in your world and restructure your reality. Don't be deceived by false fronts, see what is beneath, develop your metaphysical perception, things improve steadily, understand that circumstances are merely learning opportunities. It is time to be of service to others, teach what you know. Your intuition knows what's best for you. Yeah, so really listen to your intuition. That is like that earth pulsing and connect to nature. If you feel disconnected from that, and you recognize that when that internal voice becomes loud. High frequency, third eye chakra, base chakra. Timing is Gemini, soul path, discerning the truth within. And the truth within is that your inner child's dream, and you need to you have uncovered that. So it's time to now you have uncovered it. It's time to nourish and grow it. Okay, let's move on to Labradorites. The mind's eye, also healing frequency. A lot of healing going on this week. Labradorite raises your consciousness to connect to mystical dimensions and the highest protective energies. It strengthens your faith in yourself and aids intuitive guidance. Self-understanding. You are an intuitive being with the gift of foresight. Keep yourself grounded. The veil between the worlds is thin. You could easily confuse yourself with imaginings. Aim for clear insights. Hold on to common sense. It is your most effective tool in assessing intuitions and acting on those that are valid. Divination. Beware psychic vampires, and so ensure that you do not have a leaky aura. You face temporary setbacks, but a sudden reversal of fortune is possible. Be careful what you wish for. It may come true. Raise your consciousness to the highest level. Labradorite indicates capricious love. I feel this stone will help you to open up and send out your frequency and being able to pick up the frequencies of other people. Whereas before you may have been retreating yourself from other energies to protect yourself, or maybe because it was too overwhelming. But this one helps you to remain open to receive and to perceive. Giving your energy away is bad for your health. Establishing an efficient interface with the outside world will protect your well-being. Yeah, so that's still about setting healthy boundaries. Frequency is high, connected to the third eye chakra and the crown chakra, connected to Leo, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, opening the inner eye. And let's move on to the last one, Oralite 23. Yeah, so I do feel like with all the stones coming up, and also there is already indication of being a starseed, but there's definitely something about you that is very intuitive and empathic. And it looks like you're really coming into those superpowers, so to say, this week. Oralite 23, the soul connector, cosmic frequency. Oralite 23 has a sedative effect on the mind, stilling it so that profound healing and conscious connection with your soul, the universal mind, and higher dimensions occurs. Yeah, we have seen a lot of sword energy, mental energy this week, so that will definitely help this stone to have that critical inner voice being less dominant. Self-understanding. You are a multi-layered soul. I can't talk today. You are a multi-layered soul on a course of accelerated spiritual growth. You came to Earth to share your knowledge. You have an ability to move between different dimensions, to anchor new vibrations into the earth plane. The slowness and seeming impossibility of this task have brought disillusionment and discontent, but do not despair. Raise your own consciousness and others will follow. I do feel like some of you watching this are supposed to share their knowledge or whatever their gifts of intuition, and maybe you're an empath or a psychic or a medium. You're supposed to share that. I think it came up a couple of times in these readings. You may be a teacher. You came to Earth to share your knowledge. You have an ability to move between different dimensions and anchor new vibrations into the Earth plane. The slowness. Oh yeah, we already said this. Sorry. Divination. Recognize that you are an integral part of humanity. Yeah, so don't hide yourself with that Four of Swords energy, but it does look like you're coming out of it. Center yourself in inner peace and connect to your higher mind before making a decision. Beneficial contacts come through friends and family. It is not so much what you know as whom that counts now, and it includes higher beings. Yeah, so soul family, guides, spirit guides, they are all here for you, and it's time to, if you haven't connected to them yet, you can start to look into it and see, just meditate and invite them and be available to them. And there are a lot of resources on YouTube as well to figure out how you can connect to your guides if you haven't yet. Alignment to as above, so below, as without, so within, leads to a sense of rightness and immense well-being. Yeah, we've actually seen that with the cosmos and the deep sea, right, in the cards today. Frequency exceptionally high. Chakra, soul star, and stellar gateway cleanses and aligns all. Timing Aquarius, and soul path, the reconnection of ego, soul, and higher consciousness. Yeah, so that's that alignment that we saw in the beginning of this reading. So these will be the stones, the crystals that will be supporting you this week. You can have a look and write them down if you want to. And I think I'm excited about this week and about this energy. It really looks like we're going to, it's like the real shit that we're coming to right now, and this is why we're here. So it may be super scary and exciting at the same time. So I wish you a lot of luck with whatever you are starting to manifest this week, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.